I started with a black screen as a moment of silence. You can pick and choose what that moment of silence is for, something real, something as a joke. But, I choose to believe it was for the previous amount of years that I did stuff on YouTube, because it's been so long since I did my own shit. You could have assumed that I died, except for the fact that I would, I guess I'd play trivia for Jordan once a year, and that's pretty much about it. How's everybody been? I realize I'm not talking to people. There's nobody on the screen. We're going to start the show with a tight five. That's how I'm going to put all these people backstage through the pain of me just freestyling stand-up. No. How's it going, everybody? My name is Aaron Knoll. For those of you who may not know me, if you stumble across this video, you'll probably get sick of me very fast. But I have had the pleasure of doing a number of things on the internet over a number of years, most of which I'm proud of, some of which I'm not. That stuff I hope is hidden. But I'm happy to be here doing what I love, which is talking movies with my friends. And so I will bring these friends in to start the conversation. First up, I want to bring in the man on which I am doing this endeavor with. He has so graciously given me a platform to start over with, so to speak, and that is Mr. Jake Tato. Sir, how are you?
What's the deal with Airplane and Peanuts movie not getting nominated? I don't know. I'm good. Thanks for having me, brother. It's going to be fun to get these things back in the flow.
And also with us, like all people who start fresh and move on, I hang on to a little bit of my past. I'm happy to once again be on camera with Mr. Matt Beer. Matt, what's up, bro?
Oh, nothing much. Excited to be here, talk some movies for the sports people out there. It's Derrick Rose night, which I have on the TV directly in front of me. So if you see me like kind of move and jump, I'm either upset or Modest Buzelis did a pretty good dunk.
And to introduce somebody who understood every word of what you said, our friend Malcolm Lay. Malcolm, how's it going?
It's going good, and yeah, I don't really have anything really to follow that with.
Also with us, because we got more friends, we got Mr. JPO Jordan. How's it going, bro?
I think I understood less than Malcolm. What with the balls and the dunking and the hay and the hoe and the ladies?
And finally, we have Mr. Austin Pez. Austin, how's it going?
It's going good. JPO will understand basketball references if you reference the sixth man.
Yeah. A and K all the way. R.I.P. Kadeem Hardison. He's not dead. The character dies. Spoiler.
Hey, man.
Fucking Watson anything's basketball comedy already. That is the premise, though. That is like literally the premise of the movie.
I did. It was on first time in like summer, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, then how you get mad at me then?
There could be people watching.
The poster. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
you're a poster.
An angel on the poster. This is my.
This is what we came for, right?
Yeah, the six-man discussion.
Yeah, this is exactly what we're here.
Yeah.
No, we are here to do what we love and talk films. And before we get into this, since this is technically a new show, a new endeavor, we're going to start with the thing that I have never been good at, which is name stuff. This is technically a podcast. I'm not going to put the effort in at the moment to putting it on podcast platforms, but YouTube has a little thing that you can signify it being a podcast. So that's what this is. I'm awful at naming things. If anyone's ever worked with me on anything I've previously done, I'm an incredibly technical person. And as Henry Sanchez will tell me in chats about question writing, I am not creative at all. What is he, dead?
What?
That'd be funny.
I don't know.
That'd be funny if that's how I look.
He might be. I don't know. Is he alive? I haven't talked to him. How you
Exactly.
doing?
No. I don't want conjecture out there on the internet. There's enough of that in America.
Okay, I don't want to say
no,
anything
so
too mean to him because he lives close, within a couple hours. So
Good call.
At least you don't live in Gary, Indiana, so you're doing the right choice.
I'm close to Gary, dude.
No, but he's in Gary, so again, you're winning.
Yeah, he's within an hour from me.
You just said 2 hours. Now
I
it's
think
1 hour.
I think the
Well,
point
30
I thought
minutes
he
out in a
lived in
second.
Chicago.
Fucking liar.
the point that he's
Chicago.
making is that it could turn into Gary and very fast.
Yeah.
No. Pow, pow, pow.
No, so before we get started, because I genuinely did, I was like, I want to name this something that I'm proud of. And I tried to come up with a name for this that was creative rather than just like slapping a channel name on it or calling it a pot discussion or, I wanted to come up with something. And then I was having a conversation.
Not canoodling with Canole. That's what I was going to submit.
Come on.
No, that's my
okay.
OnlyFans.
Okay.
Yeah. It's POV angle of me, like you're across from me. It's real intimate.
When?
No, so I was talking with a friend and they said something that I guess is a phrase, and I Googled it, and it is an old phrase that I had never heard of. Which is in a context that I don't want to get into on a public forum. We were talking about the societal state of the world. And he said, I think that what we need is collectively for people to bring back the third place. And I've just never heard of that. And he was like, well, it's like this old thing back in the day where, it was said sort of people had 3 different spaces or social environments to sort of get themselves out there. They had home, they had work, and they had the third place. Whatever that may be for you, it's your passion, it's your interest, it's your extracurricular, but it's a third place that you go to do what you love. And then I Googled it to make sure that show didn't already exist on the internet. I could find context in which I'm using it. It doesn't exist. Shout out to Countdown from JPO. Seriously, still can't believe that I didn't realize that was the name of your show. So I'm very proud to call this show The Third Place. This is the place where we come to discuss what we love, movies with people that we stare at across screens. I mean, I guess we could love each other, but like in the moment, I think I'm going to need some time to work towards that emotion. I hope you guys don't take that personally.
Can you call it The First Losers in the Third Place? That's a better title.
No, because that hurts my ego. So let's do it. Let's get into discussing what we love, which is films. And I'm going to start off with a discussion topic that I've actually done before on a previous podcast, but it was just a one-on-one discussion between myself and Matt. And I've brought in a ton of different personalities because I think it is an interesting discussion. So anyone who's been in the movie space knows that if you talk movies online,
you're getting a little choppy, Aaron.
Yeah, you're choppy as hell, man. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Perfect way to start.
Yeah.
Has it cleared up? Am I still good or am I bad?
I mean, you sound good right now.
Perfect.
Okay.
Sound good. I hear it.
What about now?
Okay. Yeah, you're good.
At the
Yeah,
moment.
that sounds good.
Okay.
At the moment.
Perfect. Dead air. So anyone who gets into discussion in an online forum knows that inevitably at the start of every new year, we talk about the best films of the previous year. And I'm a particularly weird person because I kind of developed all my habits when I was a kid, separate from having interaction with really anyone about films. I'm still the old man yelling at the sky that doesn't use Letterboxd. Not because I have anything against Letterboxd. I think it's actually a fucking really cool app, and it's a really interesting way to sort of social media films. I just don't have one.
I don't either. I don't like the format, but that's just me.
Oh, fair enough. But I know I would never use it because I do things the way that I do things. If I want to talk about movies, I'll just talk about it with someone. So that's how I am. And For me, my habit with like best of lists is always I give myself until around the Oscars, because my mindset was just always, I feel like I think back to when like movie discussion shows were huge on the internet, like businesses were making it an enterprise to try and make money. The first 2 months of the year almost felt dominated by discussing films from the previous year. So why would I limit myself before we're done doing that? And coming into the space over the years, I found that the vast majority of people actually disagree with me on this concept. A lot of people do theirs at the start of the year. A lot of people do it even before the end of the year. I mean, it's at a point now when we're talking about professional trades, looking at sites like Variety and The Hollywood Reporter, some of them are putting their lists out in early December. And I understand that, like, obviously they're press and they have more access than the average person, but there's no way that you've seen every film that could possibly be in contention that you would within reason get to by early December. So I just find it interesting that everyone sort of seems to have their own philosophy on how this works. And part of the reason that I've assembled this group together in particular is because some of these guys I know for a fact disagree with me. Some of them I do know agree with me. Austin and JPO in particular do this thing every year. I actually did JPO's show with him, funny enough, very recently because he asked me to. Go check out that episode of Countdown. And Pez over on his YouTube channel, Movie Hero Network, they've spent the better part of the last month doing all sorts of various recaps of the previous year, in addition to whatever other content they're producing.
Yeah, and then we're doing like our final like top 12 literally tomorrow night or Sunday night. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So it's like these people do the content and they've done it at their own different times. One of the reasons that Malcolm is here as well is because, as everybody in our space knows, Malcolm is on the complete other side of the world, where if you know anything about releases, release calendars are incredibly different in other countries. There are movies that are largely considered 2025 films that Malcolm probably hasn't even had released there yet. And so that's kind of where I want to start, is just I'd love to hear your guys' differing opinions about this topic at all, if you even care about it, which it's fine not to. Again, I'm okay with this dying on the table if that's what's going to happen. But I don't know. I've always found it interesting that I developed the mindset I developed. And it's so different from the average person. So I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. So I guess, I don't know, should I pick somebody? Or does someone want to just jump in? Who wants to talk?
Either way.
Sure.
Jordan, you spoke up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've got three mindsets on this. One, nothing's wrong technically at the end of the day here too, because I like your concept of, you'll have seen more things by then. Same thing with me, you know what I mean? Like we did our top 10 technically. I haven't seen Marty Supreme. I'm trying to think of other things like maybe could get up there. Maybe the last Predator was really badass. I'm not sure.
Sure.
But also too, the things I look at,
It was badass.
Right, but I'm just saying like top 10 badass, or like it would actually like change the list of some sort, or 15. But I'm also of the mindset of like, I feel like, I don't know, just to me, like now's the time to talk about it. The year is done. I'm just, as a fan, also less interested in hearing your top 10 in March. Like I've moved on. I'm in 2026. I'm thinking about other things by then. And I'm also a firm believer too in like things change. Like, you know what I mean? Like I keep a list of every year that I update all the time. You know what I mean? Like my 1994 list may be different, in a couple months, like just because I have either changed my heart, seen something more than once, or even seen something for the first time ever. So things are always constantly changing. To where to me, I see no cutoff, because my mind may change in March, my mind may change in September, it may change in 2029. I don't know. So we might as well cut off somewhere. So January always makes sense. That's the year of like, let's look back on the year that was, and then start to move on, kind of thing. But again, there's not necessarily right or wrong. But I feel like I'm right.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't bother me anymore. I used to kind of be like real stuck in my way. It has to be released January 1st at midnight. But I don't care anymore. Me personally, I'm going to have mine. Sorry?
I was going to say, for reference, I'll try and find the video where we literally have that debate and link it in the description. Because we have had this debate before, and that was your opinion. So
yeah, and I mean, for me personally, I'm going to always have mine out on the first, second at the latest, because I see pretty much everything anymore by that point, because a lot of the movies, they're going to be released, on demand, and you can just pay for it and rent it and watch it that way too. So I typically watch everything. The only thing I'm really missing right now is The Secret Agent. But like one movie, I don't think it's going to be enough to destroy my list. So for me, I'm always going to do it at the start of the year. I understand like Variety doing it middle of December because they do go to the festivals. They do see all these movies really early, and what's going to be in everybody's top 10 is going to be at festivals. Like Marty Supreme was at a festival. That Testament of Anne, is it Anne Lee? That was at a
Anne Lee, yeah.
festival. You know, and then a lot of the really good stuff is released also earlier in the year too, like Sinners and stuff like that. So, like, I can understand them doing it much earlier just because they got people who have seen those movies that early. But you know, for me, I don't care anymore, but I would prefer to have it out earlier.
To me, look, when we get to like mid-January, I go to the theater a lot, so I've seen just about everything I'm going to see in a theater. Sometimes we wait on our channel till mid-January, late January, just because some of those Oscar movies do get released in like January and wide release. Historically speaking, you'll see the ones that get like limited in November, they'll go wide in January, so we at least wait on those. But yeah, like a foreign movie, you never know when it's going to get released. Secret Agent still isn't, things like that. So it's like, am I going to wait around till March, April, May till it gets released? I don't know. That's not my problem. I don't get screeners. I haven't been to film festivals, so I haven't seen these movies in advance. But I'm also not a critic, so that doesn't bother me if I didn't get a screener of some movie. That may or may not make my list anyways. Even looking back on my previous like top 12s, I've only had once or twice maybe something I saw like literally in January, a week before we do our show, that ekes into my top 12, and I've never had it be like a number 1 or a number 3 or something. It's maybe squeaked in at like 11 or 12 or something like that, just because at that point I've already done my rewatches. I've already kind of solidified. Usually by the end of the year, my top 5 is my top 5. I just know in my head I can rattle them off. A few of the other ones are just the ones I really enjoyed that I maybe got to rewatch, maybe didn't. And then I may have an outlier or two. But usually by then, you just kind of have a gut feeling. Like I know which ones are the ones I'm going to watch in the future. I know I've already got it locked down in January. And yeah, maybe when I see Secret Agent or whatever, a couple other things, like I really like them, but I'm not going to like go back and retroactively like change my list. It's just not going to be a thing. So I'm not a critic, so I don't really care about that kind of stuff. It's like I'm with JPO. It's like, look, it's January. We're doing our festivities. We at least give people on our channel a few of those extra weeks to watch stuff on demand or watch stuff on a streaming service that might have gone, that might be out and available. If people want to check out, that's why we do our tournament lists. We put out like the major list of stuff that would be included. Somebody wants to watch this, somebody wants to watch that, see what everybody's talking about, maybe squeeze a few watches in. But I think most people, and I think JPO would agree, have an idea of what their top 10 or what their top 12 is by January, at least a rough idea, and maybe a few change here or there, but I don't think it changes that much after that fact. You know what I mean? I just don't think it does. We all kind of are pretty locked in for the most part.
I don't disagree with anything that you're saying. I also think you do bring up an interesting point, which is, and obviously you mentioned festivals, but I also think like market, I think affects it. Because like just knowing what I know about where you guys live, I, living in Orlando, definitely live in a greater market where I get more access to things. Like you had said, specifically, it's funny you mentioned, because you said The Secret Agent hadn't come out. I actually have seen it. It's out here. It's not available everywhere. It's in a very, very limited release still, but it is in my market, so I've seen the film. So that's also part of it for me, is like, well, my perspective is also like, I know that I'll get access to these things eventually, and sometimes you just have to wait until it gets closer to Oscar time to get them. But not everything does go super wide. So especially if you're not in a major market, like Tato, I know we've discussed with you before, like you're not in the biggest of markets, but even where you live, you have to drive to another city to get within an even more decent market, right, with theaters.
I mean, it's the same city that's separated by a river. Fundamentally, it's still a 10-minute, 12-minute drive,
Okay.
so it's not like a dramatic thing. But
Yeah, and to me, look, the as far as the limited release thing go, I get why some of them get a limited release. That's fine. But to me, if those studios wanted the general public to see that stuff by January or February, they would at least make it available on demand. I'm not saying they have to put it out for free on a streaming service, but at least make it
For sure.
available to rent, and then I can at least have the opportunity to rent it, and they'd still be making money off of it if I rented it. Like I get not putting it out for free, immediately, maybe until Oscar time or something legit. But there's nothing I can do about that. I'm not going to travel to some major market just to go watch a movie. Like I'll drive an hour sometimes to see something I'm really interested in down to Greenville. I live right outside of Asheville, so sometimes I'll go down to Greenville. There's a few more theaters down there, see something here or there. But like I'll do my best to see things, but that's all I can do. And if the studio doesn't make things available, to me, that's on them, not me.
No, I do agree 100% with that. I also think it's, and with the limited releasing, I mean, this is obviously a different discussion, but just like I have the thought of like, sometimes I think the studios need to rethink how they do releases, because I do agree with you that if the studios want eyes on these movies, there are ways to go about it that are better than it. Like I think it was Matt, you referenced specifically The Testament of Anne Lee, which is what made me think of this. A lot of people would certify that movie essentially got fucked out of any potential Oscar nominations because of the way they've released it. I mean, domestically, it's been in theaters since Christmas. I believe if you're a certified critic as a part of a board that has access to a screening room app, you've had it even before it hit theaters, I believe.
I think so.
The movie launched on Christmas in 4 theaters, and only last Friday did it expand to 28 theaters after the Oscar nominations were already out. And I do believe that like these releases, I do think hurt these films, specifically when we're talking about awards bait movies, because I know that especially since the Oscars kind of drew attention to it by publicly announcing that in their screening room app, you have to certify that you've seen all the nominees before you can vote on a category, which made people go, wait, they're not watching every movie? No, celebrities don't watch every movie. I think the average person, maybe not the average person, but like a vested moviegoer will watch more movies in a year than a celebrity, like just in general. One of the reasons why when we talk, and obviously we'll talk about the Oscars later, one of the reasons why when we talk award shows, people talk about things like the Golden Globes, which have no real crossover with the Oscars in terms of voting bodies, is because someone winning a Golden Globe and giving a speech legitimately makes a celebrity sitting in the room go, oh, fuck, I've not seen that. I should probably check that one out. And now it's put that movie on the map for them, so to speak, in terms of just even considering it. And releases do that as well. Like if The Testament of Anne Lee had come out sooner and had a release, especially considering it's from the same people that made, now I can't remember the name of the movie. Brutalist? Was that the one last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, The Brutalist. Like it's from the same people that made The Brutalist. If you had pushed that out a bit more and got people talking about how, there's a movie in theaters and it's a musical from the team that made The Brutalist, just that buzz existing might have been enough to make more people even see the film. But I would bet money that the reason that movie's not in contention for awards has nothing to do with the quality of the film. It's just because people don't know it exists.
I've been seeing trailers for it at my Regal for a month and it's still not out. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know when it's coming out. I have no idea. No idea.
You know what's crazy about that? I'm in a market where the movie is in a theater. Like I could go see it if I had the time at the moment. I've not seen the trailer for it yet.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer for it like at least once a week at my Regal, and I doubt it's even going to come out. But then again, my Regal also has a problem with showing trailers for movies that never get released at that Regal, which is an issue. The Ballad of Wallet Island, for example, Ballad of Wallace Island, excuse me. I saw trailers for like a month, and then the movie didn't even come out at my theater. That pissed me off. I was like, what?
If you haven't gotten around to it, I would highly recommend it. It was very enjoyable.
Yeah.
So since I'm talking about markets and releases and all that, I'm going to turn the conversation over to Malcolm. Because obviously you're in a different country. Am I correct in saying that there are certain major releases that just haven't even gotten there yet, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah,
what's your perspective on the conversation, considering, you're in New Zealand, but you're in an online space that's very Americentric, so to speak?
So, I mean, it's one of those ones, like, my rule of thumb is, like, I'll still always do the top 12 list, like, at first or second week of January, usually, just because I always see it as a good way to kick off the every year of Rankin, and it's just one of those ones. If there's movies I haven't got around to, they don't make my list until I eventually see them. It's like, I'm one of those people. I will always update my 2005 my yearly list throughout the year. Like, every time I see a movie, I'll just sort of put it where I think it belongs on my list, and and then I will rewatch movies, but I'm very sometimes it's just very rarely if I get onto them in that. But it's all but it's one of those ones, it's to use this year as an example, like Hamnet came out 8th of January. Marty's Supreme only just came out on Thursday. So it's so there's a lot of these movies which come out a lot later, and it's just a case of I don't care about spoilers too much. Like, if someone says something about a movie, it's yeah, I'll end up forgetting it in a couple of days anyway. So I don't mind if people spoil movies and stuff, just because the release date's read. There's also my rule of thumb when I come to when I make my best of insert year here list is I'll always use the US, when it had a limited release in the US, as the basis for what year I consider it. If it had it, so I'll still consider it as a 2025 movie for me, just because that's when it was released in most of the world. I've definitely had this argument with some people, and especially when it comes to UK movies and stuff, because the movie Better Man for me is a 2024 movie because that's when it was released for me. But people like Jordan Anderson, for example, will consider it a 2025 movie because that's when it had its official release in the States, from what I believe. And same with the Paddington movies as well. It's those were a year earlier for me and a year later for the States. So.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, and by the way, all love to Jordan, this is not a shot. By your own metric, Malcolm, it's still a 2024 movie because it technically did a limited run on Christmas.
Yeah. I didn't realize that part, but yeah.
Yeah, I see. That's a whole different discussion because I feel like we've talked about this specifically. For me, when it comes to what a movie counts as, it's the way that I personally do it is it's whenever it is widest available to be seen is when I'll count it, unless it's an awards contender, right? So for example, a movie that was talked about in certain award circles this year is a film called Pilion. It was a contender because it played in festivals for the 2025 Academy Awards. It doesn't release until mid-February, basically around the world. And it did not receive any Academy Awards nominations or nominations at major bodies. For me, it's a 2026 film. I know it technically contended for the previous year's Oscars, but 95% of people around the world won't see it till 2026, and it didn't get nominated. So for me, it kind of counts. An example of that this year is, and a lot of people may not even know this, but the Looney Tunes film that came out the day the Earth blew up, technically that actually had an awards qualifying run in 2024. They tried to contend for the Oscars last year and then release it in February. The same thing that Pilion's doing, actually. And obviously it didn't get nominated because nobody saw it in that qualifying run. So it's also ineligible for this year. But it's a 2025 film because most people wouldn't even find that information without doing a deep Google search.
I mean, you letterbox Primate says 2025. Nobody saw that.
Yeah, because it played in festivals.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a Rotten Tomato score for Primate before I saw a trailer. because it played at festivals, and it was just the guy who made 47 Meters Down made an 8 movie, and it's apparently fun. It's like, okay, cool. You're up to see that when it comes out. Tato, I'll go to you because I know you're the person here who agrees with me. You're also the last person to get in extensively speaking, so I'll turn it to you then before we sort of just go with any other thoughts anyone has.
Yeah, so for me, I think I'm a bit of a different movie fan than a lot of us. I'm probably less of a theater goer in general, and then especially in the balls of winter, I don't like being outside. Once it gets to be 0 degrees, it was literally -40 yesterday and -20 today. I'm not leaving my house willingly under those circumstances. So I do tend to get to less movies in that November, December time frame, especially. And then even in summer, I probably go once every couple months. So I do tend to stockpile all those movies and jam them after the Oscars get announced. And it's not about I'm going to let the Oscars tell me what to watch. It's just that usually the movies that get nominated for Best Picture at least end up being good. At worst, they're usually good movies, so I enjoy watching them. Even if they get a little art housey, a little pretentious sometimes, they're still usually fun, enjoyable flicks. And then also I am busier just on a personal level in retail over November, December, the holiday season, so I have less time to watch movies, whereas my hours get absolutely cut to shit in January, February, March, and that's when I have time to just throw on a 3-hour movie every day. So that is really when I get most of my 2025 done. I just got to Begonia, and that is the only Best Picture nominee I have seen. So I've been meaning to get to F1. Sinners, I know, is going to be fantastic. It's been sitting there waiting for me to watch it. I just haven't done it yet because I tend not to until these times. So, and then as far as my listing goes, I also do the 15-month kind of thing where for me, the movie year ends. I will stop building my little list once the Oscars are over. And again, it just seems to me to be a good time. I'm not even a huge Oscar dick rider or anything. It's just that's a good time to end the current year. So I do get the thing where if I watch it, I saw Love Hurts and Captain America, those will go in my list. I'm not adding movies from 2026 to my 2025 list or anything, but it's just a weird thing that every year happens to be 15 months for me because they all get those bonus 3 months just as a hangover. And then as far as I've never done obviously in the trades, they've got to get their stuff out because whose opinion am I hearing first kind of matters. JPO mentioned, I don't care about your list in March, but I don't think anyone cares about my list at any point. And I've never done anything for the clout or the I just do shit for the fun of talking about it. That's why my trivia is all clunky and I'm a little less polished with my intros on other things. It's just more about doing the thing, having the fun with it. I don't care what happens otherwise. So yeah, it's all for me. It's fun.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that, I should say, it's almost like this is a wedding. This is the point in the show where the person who wants to speak up and tell us that someone's wrong can go ahead and do that.
This is such a not anyone's wrong kind of thing, though, man. Whatever floats your boat. We're already talking trivial stuff to begin with. You know what I mean? I can just do what makes sense in my brain. You do what makes sense in your brain. Well, that's all we can do. I have no problem saying you're wrong later on, but for now, no one's wrong.
We can all agree we don't need you don't need profile pictures on Letterboxd.
We had that discussion.
We can all agree that when you say you saw 100 movies in 2025, don't count the movies you saw from 1992. That's not what we're talking about. So certain people online that do that.
If I just said that,
don't do that.
Can I ask earnestly? Does Letterboxd keep track of things like that?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, if you add it.
Okay. No.
It's there forever.
I've never, again, I've just never once thought, like, I'm going to count every movie that I watched this year, irregardless of when it, I don't know, that's just not a list that I've ever thought to make.
Well, I mean,
Now, there's also
I have so
I
much more
do.
catching up to
Well,
me.
I mean, I do like on my note app. I'll log like obviously all the new releases I see, but I will log like first time old watches. You know, if that makes sense, like a first time movie, because I like to go back and be like,
Sure,
hey,
yeah.
what were my favorite older movies that I watched this time? But like, if somebody asked me how many movies did you see in 2025, I'll say 132 because that's how many 2025 movies I saw.
To me, that's two different questions.
Beat me by 2.
Right.
If you don't specify, then that could just be how many movies you watch in general, which would be everything, or how many 2025 releases. That is two different questions.
Yeah, like I have a list for this year where I'm just going to add as I watch anything. Like I watched Rain Man today. I added that on that list, but I have like an official 2026 list. I'm not going to add Rain Man and
You say
whatever
Rain
else I
Man's the
watch.
best film you saw in 2026.
No, Return of the King is the best movie regardless of year I've watched in 2026. The best movie I've seen this year is Primate because I haven't seen Bone Temple yet.
It will be Bone Temple when you see it.
Yeah, I'm
Just
expecting that.
Yeah.
Is that movie as nuts as I've heard it is? I've not asked
Yeah.
for details. I've just heard it's wild.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, the last one thing I was kind of say is like, if you've only seen like 40 or so like 2025 movies, you don't have to do a worst of list if you don't want to, especially if you have to admit that a lot of your movies and your worst of list you do actually like. I'm not afraid of naming names. Like Zach Shelton is very notorious for doing that. It's like he wasn't as high in Bumping After Another, but so he released his like worst of list, which obviously had Bumping After Another. He did say, I did like it. It's like, well, don't do a worst of list.
I mean, you can, but you're setting yourself up for like questioning and ridicule, because when you say worst,
that's what I'm trying to do. That's also
dislike those movies.
Right.
Yeah. I'm gonna assume that means you think those movies suck.
When Austin and I inevitably reunite to do our annual "Let's Shit on a Bunch of Films" video,
sure, yeah,
there will be very few films that will be on there because I have to meet the number. I saw some shit.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, again, me personally, if I saw 132, I feel like that's a large enough sample. Even if you see 100, that's a large enough sample size to where you can definitively say, okay, these 10 were like the bad, because that means they were in your bottom 10% of movies, or in my case, like your bottom like 7% of movies, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like you had to be an elite group of to make that list, and same with the top. You have to do the same thing. It's all about sample size. Yeah, if your sample size is 30 movies, I just feel like, why bother putting out any list at all?
I have another word too. I was doing my list chunk at a time. Some people were mad at me. They're like, "That's way too low," and I'm like, 30 out of 130 is actually not that bad. I'm just saying, I like
pretty good.
Yeah, like, if you make the top 50,
it's not a bad spot.
If you do top 50 out of 130, that's pretty good. That means like those movies are all like higher than 80 other movies. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying, I saw a lot of those things that are higher.
Right.
My bottom 10 currently contains Superman and K-pop Demon Hunters. Which are two of my favorite films of the year.
That's what we're getting at.
Yeah.
No. It's all jokes.
I think I've already seen more 2026 movies than Tato saw in 2025.
11?
I need to make a.
No, I'm a quarter there though, almost.
I'm sorry, what? Yeah.
I was gonna say I need to make a public plea to you while we're talking about bad films.
Right.
My worst film of the year is something that I could imagine you putting yourself through potentially. But
I've seen all the bad stuff you could think of. I probably saw, because I love bad movies. So yeah,
okay,
you know me.
So you've seen, because I need you to watch Smurfs.
I watched Smurfs. God. It's my number one worst movie of the year. Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yes.
Spoiler alert. It'll probably be the worst film of the year then.
It's the movie that, and here's how I do my top 3 movies. And just saying for anybody who's seen that, they know this. But my 3 worst of the year, and this is just how it's played out over the last couple of years just kind of coincidentally. My number 3 will be my favorite bad movie of the year, just because I like to put something in my slot. So that would be War of the Worlds, because like that movie's shit, but I have so much fun with it. My number 2 is usually my most hated movie of the year, the movie I just had the most like visceral negative thing to, which was Megan 2.0 this year. And then the number 1 is usually the movie I think is just the most worthless, like why the fuck did this movie even get made, and which is Smurfs. Like what does this have any business doing, like existing essentially? So
here's what I'll say, and obviously like I said, I more than likely will reach out to Pez and we'll do our annual Let's Shit on Bad Films video, because I have a lot of fun talking about bad films.
Oh yeah, it's fun. Oh yeah.
Smurfs is so bad it made me reconsider the Neil Patrick Harris ones. Like I might have been too harsh on you.
Smurfs was so bad that like I have Regal Unlimited, right? Like I see these movies essentially with my plan for free, and I didn't even bother like checking in with the guy to like go watch it. We just like walked in there to watch it, and I was just like, I don't even give a shit about getting the points for this on the Regal app, like the reward credits. Like I just don't give a shit. I don't know, because it was like right next door, so I was like, I don't even care. Like
I would do the same thing, but that's more of a lazy thing than a logical thing.
No,
you're just
to me it was like
not getting more points.
But actually, I think there is a fee of like 50 cents when you do it on the app. So I was like, it's not worth the 50 cents. So
I've done that. I've done that where I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm here already. I'm not giving you another 50 cents. They don't care. So
right,
I get that.
I mean, it's a slight tangent from Smurfs. I don't know why why studios are still trying to do a Smurfs movie. It's not like kids these days.
Can we leave this franchise dead and buried in the 80s? Like, please, just leave it alone. It's not that beloved. It really isn't.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all.
What do you mean, man? It's a certified franchise.
Only because you tried to. They keep trying to make it a franchise.
What other franchise has
think
social media Smurf? Like, come on, nothing. The Smurfs do. Does the MCU? No. Does Godfather? No. Smurfs do, though.
I don't know, man. What if anything is in the MCU is going to have a social media Smurf? It might be Wonder Man. So
maybe, but come on, he was so good they had to cut him out of the movie.
Well, I mean, either that or Lewis from the Ant-Man movies. I can see having a social media.
Oh yeah,
I miss Lewis.
I do too.
Yeah.
do you want me to pull up the black screen again for Lewis? That's what we'll dedicate that to at the start.
There you go.
No, I mean, like, not to review a movie from 3 years ago, but that's one of the problems I had with both Deadpool 3 and Ant-Man 3 was that it went away from like the little world I enjoyed into have a bigger concept, you know, especially Ant-Man, because I also thought that movie wasn't as good as Deadpool 3. But like Deadpool 3, I was like, oh, we just fucked off on the girlfriend and all the friends. Ant-Man, there's no friends. We're barely focusing on the daughter connection now. Like, just, you know, I missed that in both those movies. They went away just to do something like bigger and crazier.
Yeah, and you know what? They could have it be as
at least it paid off.
They could have had Ant-Man be as big as it was. Still, you put Luis in there, 10 times better.
I'm just saying that's the world I like, because for them, so you kind of like we're saying with Thunderbolts, you need to do something a little different to differentiate all these different franchises. And Ant-Man, I felt like retract was like, we're gonna do more of what's already been done. Like,
could you imagine
our own
Luis?
little, like, fun little world?
Just imagine Luis in the quantum realm with all that stuff.
That'd be great. Yeah, Quantum Realm, that was more or less just like any other planet.
He still has his buddy David Dastmalchian. He doesn't even care that it's fucking Veb.
Gotta have that crew.
At least don't watch with the
cool.
Yeah. So he technically is in all three.
Hey man, get that paycheck.
Yeah.
Pornhub, man.
Like bird for 5 seconds. Pornhub?
That was from there you go. See, right, I did a 2025 reference.
Just so we can put a capper on this conversation, if I stand correct, Pez, are we losing you after this?
Yeah. I'm gonna after this.
All right, so go ahead and give me your final.
You can't handle me in trivia, Pez. You know you can't handle me.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I know I couldn't handle you so much. I didn't bring my whiteboard. I didn't even try. I forfeit. You're better than me. I forfeit.
Right.
Yeah.
Cut that line out and quote it.
Yeah. Quote
Pez
us.
versus Amaru right now.
Well, I said trivia, not Battleground, because I kicked your ass in Battleground. But anyways, Aaron, what's the next
Well,
one?
I don't know about kick. Whoa. No,
All
now
right,
we're
all
gonna have a whole other debate. I don't know about kick my ass. Did you win? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Shut up. Mine was a joke. Yours is hurtful.
All right, Pez.
Yes.
We're going to go ahead and move on to the next segment here. But Austin, please go ahead and plug yourself. As we said at the start of the show, one of the reasons you're here is because Movie Hero Network has done a number of recaps on the previous year in the month of January, and you are wrapping up this weekend. Go ahead and plug that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, over on the Movie Hero Network, and we also have a Facebook page you can join if you'd like to follow that, and a whole bunch of other creators, putting out all kinds of content as well. But yeah, over on the actual Movie Hero Network, we're starting to kind of wrap up all of our 2025 festivities. A few weeks ago, myself, Richie, JPO, and Wolfman, no, I think it was just us. Wolfman, did he bail on that one? He bailed on that one. Rhonda, we all did our worst of the 2025. So if you want to get a preview of me crapping on it, I hosted that one. We had a lot of fun. We did an honorable mentions, kind of just casual roundtable where we were just throwing out movies that deserved a little more love, that maybe we're just outside our top 12. We did our actual 3-part tournament. We just finished that up. The actual 3-part where we put 128 movies into the randomized brackets and did part 1, 2, and 3. So you can go check that out. That is complete. And then, yes, the 25th, which is as of this recording, tomorrow night, we will be doing our final kind of top 12 roundup of the year. So that'll be myself, JPO, Richie, Jordan Anderson, and Jonathan Caro will be doing that. So that'll be the final kind of button on everything, and then we'll get back to some other business. But yeah, and you come over and check us out, and we do all kinds of other stuff over there. So I appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, man.
Sure.
Again, go support Austin and Jordan on everything that they do, as I will take him out. And we are going to go ahead and move on. Before we move into the second half of our show with our Oscar discussions, we are going to play ourselves a game first. I enjoy playing games because I like fun. Jesus Christ. For someone who's done this for as long as I have, you think I'd be just a little less awkward at times? But no, I'm not. So I have a couple of game ideas in development for this show that I will debut over time. But for this first one, I am instead going to return to something that I started on our previous show over on TMG, which is I'm going to have the gentleman here guess the film based off the cast. And we do have a theme for this one. And in honor of our topic next week, which is going to be a look forward at the year of 2026, because let's be honest, who's like really excited for most of what January has to offer? I mean, sometimes you get like a surprise good film, but no one's really excited for the January movies. So we have a look forward to the rest of 2026. We have an awesome panel. I'll talk about more about that at the end of the episode. But I have 10 films here from the upcoming year of 2026. And what we're going to do is I'm going to give you guys the cast list to these films. Each question is worth a varying amount of points. The earlier that you lock in a guess for said film, the more points you get. So if you guess on the first actor, you get, let's say there's 8 actors, guess on the first actor, get 8 points, guess on the second, 7, so on and so forth. Does everyone understand the rules of the game?
Yes, sir.
But these are all unreleased 2026 movies?
Yep, these are all unreleased 2026 films, so you are going solely off of whatever knowledge you may already hold. Does it mean it'll be a high-scoring game? Potentially, no, but it just means that if someone gets lucky and already knows a thing or two about next year's films, you are in the lead. All right.
Sweet.
JPO, are you almost good to go?
Yeah, just give me a second. I need to find a marker.
All good. Matt, I'm going to have you answer first every time, just since you don't have anything to write on in front of you. But we're going to play on the honor system, so I'm going to have you let me know when you lock in, just the same as anybody else, okay? So you will be held to that point.
I'll raise my hand or something.
Do you have? I was gonna say do you have your phone? You're on your phone, so never mind.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
on
gonna
my
say you
phone
could text
currently.
me.
There's 14 seconds left, unless we go to overtime because it's tied. So I might not be on my phone in a minute. I might move to the computer.
All right. Well, we'll transition mid game if we need to, but otherwise,
Oh, bye, Aaron. Hi, Aaron.
no,
Bye,
I hit
Aaron.
the wrong button. I hit the wrong button. I'm still here, boys. Are we ready?
The ghost of Aaron. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. For the first film, I have a possible 8 actors, so a grand total of 8 points if you take a guess on the first actor, okay?
Okay.
All right. First actor, John Goodman.
No, I don't.
All right. Second actor, Vern Gorman. Okay. Third actor, Michael Stuhlbarg.
I think I'm locked.
Malcolm's going to lock in.
Yep.
All right. These guys will get the benefit of an extra second or two as I make sure I have something to note this down. So Malcolm is in for 6 points. All right, gentlemen, anyone else or want to keep going?
No, we'll keep going.
All right. Fourth name, Sandra Huller. All right. We'll go to the fifth name, which is Riz Ahmed. And at this point, I'll go ahead and run a recap back of the names so far. I have John Goodman, Vern Gorman, Michael Stuhlbarg, Sandra Huller, and Riz Ahmed. Do I have any of the other 3 locking in?
I'm not.
What was
No.
the name before Riz Ahmed? Sorry.
Sandra Huller.
Okay, I thought you said
Huller.
Sandra Bullock at first. Sorry.
No. All right, sixth name for 3 points if someone locks in, Emma DRC.
I'm not even gonna write that down.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get this.
I promise you all have a possibility of going for 1 point.
Okay.
I more so only put this in here just because I was shocked at how good this cast is.
And these are
All right.
26, right?
Yep, these are next year. I didn't say it would be easy. I just said it would be
yeah.
entertaining.
You mean
All right.
this year?
Or this year, technically. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Seventh name, Jesse Plemons.
I don't know.
Come on, game night 2.
All right, so Malcolm is locked in for 6 points. So I'm going to give you the final name.
Hey.
For 1 point, if you lock in, the last name is Tom Cruise.
Oh, God. I'm in.
Okay, Matt's in. JPO's writing down. And I will read the names off one more time. We have John Goodman, Vern Gorman, Michael Stuhlbarg, Sandra Huller, Riz Ahmed, Emma DRC, Jesse Plemons, and Mr. Tom Cruise. Tato, let me know when your guess is locked in.
Sure. I'm just trying to think if I actually have something before I fucking write a joke. Alrighty, fuck it.
All right. Beer on the honor system for 1 point.
It is Digger.
Malcolm for 6 points.
Directed by Alejandro Iñárritu, Digger.
Digger, JPO.
Big Dick Malcolm over here. Digger.
And Tato, please God, don't be a Tato lore answer.
Yeah, I'm honestly glad I don't have to say that at all because I just wrote Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning because I was pretty sure that came out and I was going to write the Final Reckoning as a joke answer, but then I didn't want to be wrong and have it be the Final Reckoning and get all pissed about that. So,
oh my God, the longest answer of all time.
All right, so 6 points to Malcolm.
good shit. Oh.
We got 6 to Malcolm. We have 1 to Beer and JPO. All right, we'll go ahead and move on to the next one. I'm hearing just a bit of an echo. I think that might be on Matt's end.
Yeah, it might be my
You're fucker.
thingy. Not my thingy, but
All right, I'm going to mute you while you're getting set up, okay?
okay. Let's make it setting.
All right, so Matt can still hear me, so we'll go ahead and move on to the next round here. All right, the first name on the board for this one is Alfie Williams. And by the way, this is a max of 6 points. There are 6 actor names, so 6 points if you lock in on the first name. Actor Alfie Williams. Matt, since I'm muting you just to lower the echo while you're getting set up. Are you locking in? Nope. Okay. All right. Second name. All right. Second name, Aaron Kellyman.
I'm locked.
Really? Who the fuck is that?
She's actually been in some major projects that you might have seen.
I didn't even think that was a girl. All right.
I mean,
Mommy's found a niche. Finally, he can beat me in trivia with shit that's not out yet.
All right, I'll give some hints throughout this. So these are 2026 films.
That's not a new hint.
Yes, it is. Based on the wording you just gave me, yes, it is. Next name,
What?
Shy Lewis Perry.
You just fucking confuse me way more. And I never get your name because I have no idea.
Shy Lewis Perry. First name CHI, last name LEWIS -PAR.
Doesn't help any. Unless Malcolm does another spelling bee game that I can win at.
All right. Next name, Emma Laird.
I know I've seen that name somewhere, but yeah.
All right. For 2 points, we have the fifth name, Jack O'Connell.
Okay, I know that guy. Maybe. Wait.
Oh. Okay, so yeah. Okay, well, I say you're okay. This you did confuse me.
All
Okay,
right, so Matt's gonna lock in JP or Tato.
I'll take the next.
yeah,
one.
I said locked. I said locked.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. All right, so JPO is in for 2. Matt's also in for 2 at this point. So Tato, last name, Rafe Fiennes.
Okay, yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't have been good at being in for 2. Oh Christ.
So the names again: Alfie Williams, Aaron Kellyman, Shy Lewis Perry, Emma Laird, Jack O'Connell, and Rafe Fiennes.
Okay.
All right. You have an answer written down, Tato?
Yeah.
All right. Well, the reason that I gave said hint that didn't sound like a hint is because
Now you went
this
back
one
to the
is
thing that is out.
Yes, this film is currently in theaters. For 2 points, Matt, go ahead and tell me it.
It would be 28 years later, The Bone Temple.
All right, Malcolm for 5 points.
Yeah, I almost locked in on the first name, but then I was second guessing on myself because it's out, but 28 years The Bone Temple.
All right, Tato
Yeah,
for 1
I didn't
point.
think you were gonna. Oh
No, you're good.
no, sorry.
Menu 2, The Secret Menu.
And JPO.
20 years later, Bone Temple.
You are good, sir. All right. So we got the score up there.
I'm just killing it. Shit. Good shit.
All right. Are we ready for the next one?
Yep.
All right. So this one is a big one. We got big potential with this one. There are 15 names. This is a large ensemble cast. So if someone can figure this out quickly, there is big potential to catch up or get ahead. I'm still hearing echo. I think that's on
Okay.
your Matt.
I don't have my earbuds on me, or at least I don't think I do, so I'm going to turn it down.
Okay.
See if that works.
Not really.
Oh, I can't do that. No, maybe. Okay, yes, I can. How's the sound now?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Let's try.
Oh, no,
Still
never
hearing
mind.
Okay, I'm gonna,
That's horrible.
let me turn you guys down. How about that? Too loud. All right, how are we sounding?
Can you hear me
Think
still?
it's yeah.
I want to
Yeah,
look
so-
for my earbuds.
All right. I'm going to put you on mute to play, okay? Just signal to me when you're good.
They were here the whole time.
All right.
Let me-
First name is Jesse Plemons.
Oh, is it Digger 2?
No,
He gets-
no, no.
he
They
gets
don't make
killed.
sequels that fast in Hollywood. Unless you're
Oh,
28 years to
Digger
Bone
2.
Temple.
Exactly. See?
All right. First name, Jesse Plemons. Matt, since you're not on your phone anymore, what I'm going to have you do is send me the message through Facebook so I know when you're locked in, and then just show that on screen, okay?
Okay, I got to go grab my phone then because I threw it and Facebook isn't logged in on this computer.
All right, you're good, Matt. All right.
Yeah.
Smooth run we got.
All right, next name,
Open up.
Ray Fiennes.
Is it Digger the Bone Temple?
No, no, no. Pornhub's not legal in most states anymore. We can't get access to that. All right, I'll go to the third name then. Glenn Close.
I believe I might be locked.
Is someone going to lock in here? This would be at 3 names for 13 points, or do we want to go to a fourth name?
Let's keep going. Now, do you want me to
Welcome.
type in the answer when I lock in, or do you want to literally type in locked in?
Type in the answer, because then you can just
Okay.
point that at the screen.
Okay.
Malcolm, did you say?
I
locked?
mean,
I'm definitely
the
locked.
message for you is what I meant.
Yeah, just send it to me. Okay, so Malcolm's going to lock in at 13 points. Gentlemen, we have so far Jesse Plemons, Ray Fiennes, Glenn Close. The next name, Josh Hutcherson.
Wow, they really went big for that for Five Nights at Freddy's. Good for them.
What was that?
They really went all out for Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Like, holy
That's right.
shit.
All right, anyone? Or are we going to the next name?
Next name.
Let's keep going.
All right, fifth name, Ben Wang.
Sixth name.
All right, sixth name, Maya Hawk.
Seventh name.
Tato and Matt, moving on.
Yeah, let's move on.
All right.
You'll see
Seventh
Locke
name,
if they're a lock.
Kieran Culkin. Okay. Eighth name, Joseph Zada. Okay. Ninth name, Kelvin Harrison Jr. All right. We are now at the 10th name, down to 6 points, Iris Apatow. Does anyone want to take a stab at it, or do we want to keep going?
Yeah. Do you lose points based on how many?
No,
You guys?
no.
No. Okay.
You just don't get to have a second guess. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if like you could lose 15 on a question like this or not. So
Yeah.
No. That'd be less fun.
Question 3, he's going to introduce a whole new concept.
No. We tried that once. It wasn't as fun.
oh.
All right. So I'll run through, since we're at 10 names, 6 points
No.
if somebody locks in. I'm going to run through it. And just in case anyone's playing at home, we have Jesse Plemons, Ray Fiennes, Glenn Close, Josh Hutcherson, Ben Wang, Maya Hawke, Kieran Culkin, Joseph Zada, Kelvin Harrison Jr., and Iris Apatow. The next name on the list is Elle Fanning.
Oh, I'm in.
Okay. Matt's going to lock in for 5 points at 11 names. Tato, JPO, we moving on?
Shh. I'm trying to see how many clicks Matt's making. It's not a short title, Tato. It's not a short title. That was several clicks. No, I'm not in.
Well, I sent it to him. I'm copying it to my notes so I can expand the size.
He's typing on T9. It takes him 4 clicks to get 1 letter.
Oh,
What
All
a
right.
twist.
12th name. We're on 4 points at this point.
I guess I can't zoom in.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Did you say Lawrence or Lopez?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, the phone got slammed.
God damn. I just
All right,
have no idea
13th.
what this would be titled.
13th name. Lily Taylor.
And then
And Malcolm knows he got it right. He's smiling.
14th name.
you win that.
Billy Porter.
Okay. And then
All right. For 1 point, McKenna Grace.
I don't know. This is the-
That's
It still
fine.
could be
That's
not so
permission
pretty
for
sweet.
Norton.
What?
I was making a joke. Don't listen to me.
Oh.
So
All right. JPO and Tato, let me know when you have something written down.
I wrote words.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. I'm going to start with Matt this time for 5 points.
So I should have got it earlier. I went Hunger, if it will show, Hunger Games, Sunrise on the Reaping.
All right. Tato.
I wrote some Hunger Games shit, which I thought it was at Hutcherson, but I just didn't. I have no idea what's coming down the pipe. So
Oh, good
All right.
shit, dude. I'll give you side credit.
and that's
I'll
when,
give him a point for that.
when J Law popped
Wait,
up.
what?
I'm like, I know it's one of those.
No, we're not
You're
giving him a
gonna
point for
put
some
it
Hunger
point?
Games shit. He's still fourth.
I mean, right. So now I'm losing because he got a half a title. I gave him side credit, is what I said.
All right, then. What, JPO?
I said GOAT, that shitty animated movie. I don't know.
No,
Hey,
no. But also
that
got a
movie's
lot of
probably going to be
celebrities.
fucking spectacular. Call me your tits.
And then
Yes.
Malcolm
I've never
for
watched that shit.
for an early whopping 13 points. Malcolm.
I knew making up a whole bunch of graphics for an Space Movie tournament would come in handy.
Yeah.
Similar to the Repig.
Yes, it
Malcolm
is.
literally just wrote all these names down like a week ago. So I mean,
Yeah. It's like I saw him smiling. It's like this son of a bitch knows he got it.
yeah,
He knows
nah,
he's got the 13.
legitimately,
for-
he kind of studied for this in a way without knowing.
For everyone playing at home, you may notice it's not always literally in terms of star order. Sometimes I throw out a if you know, you know. For example, the Bone Temple, the first name was the kid that is literally the star of both films.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of if you knew his name, you knew his name. In this instance, hilariously enough, the name that JPO gave a literal shrug to, Joseph Zada, that is the lead of this film. I just threw him in the middle.
I
because
believe
if you
it. Just
happen
like
to
I didn't
it.
know those other fucks from the last movie because they're young kids that haven't done shit. Yeah, it makes sense.
See, if you do it like Josh Hudson and J Law really early on, that might clue in people really early that
I didn't know we were at the point where we're even up to that point though, and I had no idea she was in it, so I never even put that together.
Well, I mean, I think they're only gonna have a small part in it, though. Is what I was saying.
Yeah, there's a.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I know
book
they're not major parts. I didn't know they were in it at all, and I didn't know we were even there in the timeline. Like they're dead or they're not even
So
alive in the last one.
it's-
So
the book it's not there in the timeline. The book itself has a written epilogue that they are shooting.
Yeah.
So that's why. Okay, next up, and I'm gonna throw you guys a hint on this one. Just because I thought it'd be fun, I might have thrown a Netflix movie or two in here. Keep that in mind.
Okay.
For 6 points, the first name, Henry Cavill.
so it's not
Locked.
the risk. All right.
Fuck it.
What?
I think I know it, but I want you to go another round.
I'm shooting. Fuck it.
Yeah, screw it. I'm
Right,
gonna
Tato's
lock
gonna
in.
shoot for 6.
I'm going for 6. Who cares? We're not losing points. I'm going for it.
Yeah,
I'm locked
Malcolm
in.
won. I'll lock.
All right, so Tato for
Wait.
6, Matt for 6.
Now I'm
JPO's
locked.
gone for 6. Malcolm, you want another name or you want to lock for 6?
I want another name.
Okay. Second name, Helena Bonham Carter.
God forbid you just lock in, Malcolm. You already got the biggest cock here. Let's move this along.
No, this is actually a case. I don't think I know this one because I didn't.
next name?
We didn't do Netflix movies in the tournament.
Well, that's shitty of us then if we didn't.
Next name.
Yeah.
All right. Third name, Sharon Duncan Brewster.
I'm not gonna write that down.
I mean, we're all locked anyway, so
Yeah,
we don't
3
have
of
to
you are
write
locked
anything
in.
down.
Four-
I'm
fourth
nerdy.
name,
I
Malcolm?
still kind of want to play it to myself.
Next
anyway.
name.
All right. Fourth name, Hamish Patel.
I know that.
Next name.
All right. Fifth name, Louis Partridge.
And last name.
All right. Sixth name for 1 point, Millie Bobby Brown.
Oh,
All right. So let me
I'm just
know when
doing
you have it
that.
written down, Malcolm.
here's what it's supposed to mean.
I've got something written down.
All right. So Matt, I'll let you go first for 6
Okay.
points.
I believe it's Elnora Holmes 3.
No, no.
Hey, if some
No,
Hunger
that's-
Game shit counts, that counts.
No, I didn't
No,
count it.
I already
I
thought
didn't
that
give him
too.
the point.
Yeah,
that was
so-
a joke.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that is not correct. It's not close enough that I can give it to you. Tato,
Enola Holmes 3.
Enola Holmes is her
Come on
first name.
now. If he's gonna get that for
You mean he's
some
gonna get the
Hunger
right
Games
answer?
No, he
He did
that-
it. Listen to
Hunger
him.
Games shit.
He already didn't
Matt.
give him that point. Listen.
It was a
Your
joke.
ears.
I didn't give him the point.
I thought you said that. Come on. It's literally 2 letters switched around.
Yeah, that's how trivia works.
That's
Matt,
it.
there's not an R in her name.
That's how trivia
Whatever,
works.
it's
I'm
the
not
same-
gonna dig about it.
I
That's
knew
how
what
it
it was.
works.
JPO.
No, I had Highlander, and then I realized once you said Millie Bobby.
All right, and then Malcolm for 1 point.
I didn't even know they were doing it in Nola Holmes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on. Now.
All right. Well, all right. So there we are. Tato in the game now at this point. As we'll go ahead and move on to the next one. I'm going to run this one now because I wrote down a movie that I had never heard of, so the odds that anyone here knows it are slim. So we're going to run this one quick. If someone gets this right, I'll be shocked. Also a Netflix film. All right, here we go. Possible 6 points. First name, Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah, nah, I would know unless it's a super small part.
All right, second name, Charles Dance. Third name, Fiona Shaw. Fourth name, Richard E. Grant. Fifth name, Emily Mortimer. And sixth name, Rosamund Pike. Frankly,
I'm
if
just
somebody
gonna
knows
say,
this,
I was gonna write some British shit on my board. I'll save the.
all right. Does anybody actually have a guess or no?
Yeah, when Borat met Amazing Amy from Gone Girl.
The Enola Holmes 3.
No, it's not. No, so I wrote this down as a troll only because I am shocked that this movie exists. This is a Netflix film called Ladies First. Sacha Baron Cohen plays a chauvinist who is transported to an alternate dimension where women have the same power as men in our world. And it's written from people who wrote Minions movies. It can't be good, but
Why?
But it
Because the
exists.
part? Why can't it
All
be
of
good?
it.
Is the Minions thing? What do you
All
mean?
of it.
That first half sounded awesome until you said Minions.
So that is a film that exists. That was just a troll.
So it's not The Dictator 2?
It's not. Sorry. Okay. Enough fucking around. I'll give you guys a real film. You ready? All right. Possible 8 points here. Ready? First name, Kristen Wiig. Second name, Alison Brie. Third name, Idris Elba.
Locked.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. We'll just give up after this.
Anybody else want to lock in?
I mean, I know what it is, but I don't know the exact title, so I would probably not get the point. You know, if I'm not going to get the points on 2 letters, you know, I'm not going to get this.
I can't wait to hear about that for the next hour.
I mean, it's the same title. Just replace
I
the
feel
R.
like if you know what this is, you know what this is. This title is straightforward.
It could be 2 different things. It could be 3 different things. But I know what it is.
All right, then submit it.
No, because I don't know the full title 100%. If I would have had 2 E's in Sunrise of the Reaping, I probably would have got that wrong. There's no 2 E's, man.
Okay. All right. The reason I say submitted is because there's no way anyone's getting it from the fourth name. Fourth name, Johannes Hakor Johannesson.
Oh,
If you know that, Aaron, you could just give us 7 names and not waste time. Like, you don't need to give us 8 names. What's the next name?
No, but it's fun. A fifth name, Jared Leto.
It's wasting time.
It's fun for me to watch you guys get frustrated.
lock.
Hold
Okay,
on.
Tato
I'm
is
gonna
gonna-
lock.
Tato's
also
locking in at 4 points. JPO, you're locking in.
Yeah.
You did say Jared Leto, right?
I did say Jared Leto.
Okay.
Okay, Matt, you gonna lock in?
No, because I don't know the full title.
All right then. Sixth name, James Purefoy.
Ooh. If I'm right, that's interesting.
Seventh name, Camila Mendez.
The dude from The Following?
Dude from
And
A
the
Knight's
eighth
Tale?
night's Nicholas
I've seen Night
Galaxy.
Sale I've seen Night Sale since I was 12.
Fix that.
All right. Matt, are you submitting an answer for 1 point?
Fucking,
No.
what's the movie? Jurassic Park. Yeah. Get off my back.
All right, then. Go ahead, Malcolm. You submitted for 6 points.
The trailer just came out. It's Master of the Universe.
That is correct. Masters of the Universe, Tato for 4 points.
Motu.
Masters of the Universe, JPO.
Yeah, that's the only reason I had it, because Leto and Elba stood out. Is Wig a voice, or is she in that?
She was just announced as a voice.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense. 'Cause I like her a lot.
Because I would have said He-Man in the Masters of the Universe, but that would have been wrong.
Yeah, you're right. That would have been wrong.
There was no point in me submitting after the second one.
Okay, then. All right. Let's move on to the next one. I'll play two more.
I
Alright,
should
this
make you
next
play
one.
through a couple rounds. I want to do that.
Hey, if you want to make it one night, we'll figure it out. All right, here we
I
go.
can do it
For
right
the-
now. Just write a list.
For the next one, I have a possible of 10 points. First name, Jamila Jamil. Second name, McKenna Grace.
That bitch again.
She is in a lot of movies this year.
No, shout out to her. I like her.
She was in
She's
a lot
last
of
one
movies
last
last year too.
Third name, Snoop Dogg.
I should know my Calvin filmography. I just watched the movie where he gets shot several times and gets killed.
What movie's that?
I don't want to spoil it now. It is like the last scene.
Fourth name, Fortune Feimster.
Shit, were we not just talking about this?
Yeah. Because she's in the office Christmas party, and someone we were doing this game with that, and I was like, "How'd you get that so quick?" They're like, "It's only in like 2 movies." I'm like, "I didn't." Well, good for you for remembering that. Which 2 movies?
Oh,
We
yeah,
did
and
not
then
talk about her future filmography.
Fifth name, Terry Crews.
This is some like delightful shit.
I mean,
Brooklyn
It is
Nine-Eight.
at this point. It is at this point that I will drop a hint of. Honestly, I don't expect anyone to know this subtitle. I'll accept a number.
Oh, Smurfs? Did they do the greenlight sequel?
I will accept if someone can get the correct number. I will also take that. Sixth name, unless anyone wants to lock in. Sixth name, Jennifer Hudson.
on the
I'm
tail
telling you. No, way.
Seventh name, Bill Nye,
The science guy.
the one and only.
I'm gonna lock it in.
Okay,
Literally Bill Nye, not Bill Nye.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
Okay.
JP is going to lock in for 4 points.
I'm locking in.
I'm just
All right,
happy
Malcolm's
this
going to go in for
exists.
4. I will give you guys a hint. The last 3 names are the actual stars of this film who you will not recognize the name of. So if you want
I
to lock
wrote a
in now,
number.
go for it. All right, Tato locked in. Matt, you going to lock in?
No.
All right.
Clue.
Then we have the third name, Ron Pardo. Ninth name, Hayden Chamberlain. And the 10th name is Carter Young. Any submission, Matt?
No, I have no clue.
All right. Then for 4 points across the board, Tato.
7.
That is a number, not a part of a franchise. That is also an incorrect number.
You said you said you'd accept a number.
I think
With
he
a
meant add the franchise. Yeah.
Yeah. Malcolm for 4 points.
I also misunderstood that clue that Aaron said. I put 6-7 the movie.
And JPO.
Based on Terry Crews and Bill Nye, I guessed Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 3.
That's actually not the worst guess in the world, but it is incorrect.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the cast of Paw Patrol the Dino movie.
All right, I hate you, Aaron. Next one.
All right, we're going to end off on a big one. That is your hint.
Locked.
First name, Zendaya.
Locked.
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 You're going to lock in on the first one?
Yep.
Sure.
All right. 15 points. Lock in. Matt, you want to lock in with him?
No,
Matt, you want to play the game?
not really.
No.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and run the names down then, since we are locked in for 15 points for the remaining 3 players. We have Zendaya, Robert Pattinson, John Leguizamo, Giovanna Defoe, Mia Goth, Rafi Gavron, James Remar, Corey Hawkins, Bill Irwin, Charlize Theron, Benny Safdie, Anne Hathaway, Lupita Nyong'o, Tom Holland, and Matt Damon. Show me the Odyssey.
The Odyssey.
Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Get MCU.
Dune
fool.
3. Tato, what'd you have?
I had Avengers Doomsday.
Oh!
I wouldn't have got there with all of those names anyway.
Look, if I'd waited one more, I probably would have got it with Robert Pattinson.
I
So
gotta take a leak. I'll be right
the
back.
reason I put them two first, because they each have 3 films together this year.
All right, Aaron. Oh, what, did Matt leave?
No, he's still here.
Oh, okay. Aaron, take me off, put you back on. Let me do 3.
At the end of the episode.
Oh, I want you to feel the pain, though, Aaron. I want you to feel the pain I feel, Aaron.
At the end of the episode, we are going to
Oh, so
move on for the
torture
final
us.
little bit of the show and discuss the Oscars. Tato, are you hanging around with us, or are we saying goodbye?
I'm gonna bounce out just in case there are. I'll let you be free with spoilery talk and stuff. I'm sure I'm the only person on the planet who has.
Depends on the movie. Well, depending on the movie,
Yeah, I don't think we'll be
won't spoil it.
talking about the movies. We'll just be talking about the nominations.
Oh, and then I'll stick around then.
All right. Well, then we're going to go ahead for the last little bit of the show and jump into the Academy Award nominations. We'll go ahead as I'm going to pull it up on screen here for us. Nope, that's the wrong button. That's the right button. All right. I'm going to be basic and just pull up Wikipedia for us so we can all take a look here. We'll start with Best Picture, as it was announced that the Best Picture nominees of 2025 were Bugonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams. These are the 10 films that were considered the best of the best for this year. Malcolm, you yourself do awards coverage at least annually up until this point. I'm assuming that has continued this year.
Yeah.
All right, so I will start with you, sir. What are your thoughts on these 10 nominees being the best pictures of the year?
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty good lineup. Like F1 was it's one of those ones that it was kind of surprised that it got in, but it's like also it did get PGA, so it was kind of that thing of maybe it would, maybe it didn't. But it's like There's nothing really here I'm too upset about. And yeah, just random fact I found out recently, especially about Train Dreams, is Shane McMahon's wife is a producer on Train Dreams.
Whose wife?
Shane McMahon.
Oh, cool. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I know who that is. Is that the son of the guy?
Vince.
Yeah,
So
there you
Vince,
go.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Then I will go ahead and head down to you, Matt, because I know we talk awards films a lot every year. What are your thoughts on these 10?
I think it's a, like Malk said, good list. You know, I saw some people saying this is the best list ever. And it's like, no, it's not. It definitely isn't. I think it was 73 when Jaws came out, or 75. That
75.
nominated list was better than this year's, but still really good movies. I think it's better than last year's for sure. People are complaining about F1. They always nominate a blockbuster every year. It was going to be that or Weapons. I would have leaned towards Weapons personally, but F1 I think is still top 10, top 15 movie of the year for me. So I'm fine with it being in there.
Yeah, I agree with your sentiment 100%. Like the big narrative that I've seen online is a lot of people seem to be of this opinion that F1 took a space from. I mean, a lot of people thought there was going to be potentially 3 foreign films in Best Picture, with whether it was just an accident, or obviously, you know, we can talk about later the Park Chan-wook film No Other Choice, which was completely shut out of nominations to begin with, but a lot of people thought that had a shot at getting in. I don't know why people are surprised, because what Matt said is 100% correct. If you check the track record of recent Oscars, you know, when they originally switched to doing 10 films back in the early 2010s, the point of doing so was because we were reaching a point where every year it felt like there was some populist film that wasn't making the cut. And initially they were fulfilling that when they expanded. You know, a couple of Pixar films got in, Avatar got in that first year. And then I'd say somewhere in the middle of the 2010s, they sort of fell off that track when they switched from a solid 10 to, well, it's like a variable, and it depends on how many films pass a threshold of voting and whatever weird thing they were doing. And since they've switched back to a solid 10 at the start of the 2020s, that has remained consistent. Pretty much every year, there's at least 1 to 2 blockbuster films that make their way into the list. I don't think F1 stole a spot from It Was Just an Accident. I think F1 stole the spot that Wicked, a lot of people assumed, would get. You know, I think a lot of people called Wicked for Good a foregone conclusion as early as November of last year when we saw the first Wicked. And I think the fact that it came out, it wasn't received nearly as well as the first one. Me personally, I thought it was a massive step down from the first one. You know, I think that's the slot that F1 took, if we're being completely honest. I'll go ahead and to JPO, sir. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you do a deep dive on the Oscars, it might make sense. But yeah, no, I mean, technically, you know, they should just go by the best films, not necessarily look for like certain niches to fill. Because Weapons, I think, is definitely way better crafted, more interesting, more unique, better acted. But you know, F1's fun, so I got no problem with it in general. And yeah, I don't know, everything else is fine. Solid year, but I think almost every year is pretty solid.
Yeah, Tato, I'll go to you because I know you've not seen the bulk of these, so I'm going to curate a question to you in a different perspective here. Obviously, you've spoken about how this time of year is like your catch-up period. Obviously, these 10 films being claimed as the best pictures of the year by the Academy means that these 10 films fall onto your radar. Of the films nominated, do any of these sort of stand out to you as like ones that you want to jump to watch immediately, as what I think a pretentious film prick in the Academy would call the general audience? Which of these jumps to your mind quickest?
Yeah, I've had Sinners on the back burner directly for the past couple weeks. Like I said, I've got it just sitting, waiting to click play on pretty much at this point. And that is the one that I'm probably most hyped for. F1, I am reasonably excited for because I do tend to like the more fun, populist, as you mentioned, films. As opposed to, again, the or somewhat pretentious films, which I thought there was just too much of last year. Like last year, we've got Wicked and Dune, and then a bunch of the.
Dune fucking rocks.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I love the fuck out of that movie, but then the rest of the nominees were like the more artsy, like taking the movies that take themselves pretty seriously. Rightfully so. They're all great movies and stuff, even the ones that I did not love, which I'm realizing was not this year. No, any which way.
And to make the point for the audience at home, so you don't have to think, the two that he named as the blockbusters were Dune and Wicked. The other 8 nominees were Honora the Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, and The Substance. I would say the vast majority of those fall into that. I think
Dana made a good point. I've missed several of those. I just wasn't interested. So
yeah. I would say probably A Complete Unknown is the next least like full-on indie, but for the most part, I would say a lot of those fit exactly what you're saying. This year, it does really feel like a more diverse crowd. I mean, even last year, horror slowly but surely is making a breakthrough at the Oscars, and when you compare The Substance last year to Sinners this year, one is definitely much easier for a general audience to get on board with. I think even. Comparatively to Weapons, when you compare that to The Substance, I mean, I would argue that that's probably easier to get on board with too. So there's an interesting thing there. You brought up Sinners, saying that it was the one that was on the back burner, so we'll turn to this one next. Sinners is now the record holder for the most Academy Award nominations of all time with 16. I think the even more impressive thing is if you remove the new category of best casting, because there was a new category introduced this year, it still has 15 nominations, which means it still breaks the record. Those nominations are for picture, director, actor for Michael B. Jordan, supporting actor for Delroy Lindo, supporting actress for Wunmi Masaku, original screenplay, casting, cinematography, editing, costume design, makeup and hair, original score, best original song for I Lied to You, best production design, best sound, and best visual effects. And what's crazy is those aren't even all the potential awards that it could have been up for. A lot of people would contend that Miles Catton had a great shot at best supporting actor. In addition to that, the film did also make earnest campaign pushes for both Jack O'Connell and Haley Steinfeld in supporting actor and actress respectively. There was also a second song from the film that was submitted for best original song. It did make the shortlist. That song was actually written by Miles Catton for the soundtrack. So there were avenues that weren't even explored yet, and that's not counting any potential technicals it didn't get. I didn't count to see what it missed, but 16 nominations with some even left on the table, people would argue, I think is incredibly, incredibly impressive. Matt, I'll go to you first, because obviously, in the last couple of years, we've seen a lot of films break out and take a large chunk of nominations. What are your thoughts on Sinners being the one to set the new record? Do you think that Sinners is the correct film to hold that history? Because I imagine 16 will be hard to break.
I mean, in my opinion, the one that should hold the record and always hold the record is The Empire Strikes Back, but this is a worthy, based on what it got nominated for, it's worthy of this award. Obviously the acting all around is great, and I think has a great shot to win casting if it's not one battle after another. Really happy that Delroy Lindo got nominated. Finally getting an Oscar nomination, which is really cool to see him get. A lot of people are angry he didn't get nominated in 2020 for The Five Bloods, which I think I'd agree with that as well. But I mean, Ryan Coogler, screenplay, directing, I think they're all well-deserved. Are they going to win all 16? No, that's not going to happen. It's going to win 4 to 7, I think, somewhere in that ballpark. I think original screenplay, it's going to win. Score is a lock. Casting could be up there. Director, picture could be up there. I don't think I liked he's going to win. It's going to be Golden. I'd be shocked. Yeah. But I think what's going to hurt it is it's attached to a scene that everybody just loves. And I think the takeaway is not the song, but the scene, and I think that's going to have an impact on the voting as well. Whether it should or not, it's another discussion, but costume design's up there, cinematography, it could win. Like, it could win, like I said, 4-7. It's not going to hit double digits, I don't think. Like, I don't know, maybe Michael B. Jordan wins and surprises everybody. Because I do think it's closer to what people think. And maybe the two different characters ends up putting him over Timmy to some of the voters. Maybe not, but no, I think it's well deserved. You know, obviously, Empire Strikes Back should have 20 nominations at least, but we can have that discussion another day.
All right. Obviously, I think Matt did a great job of covering it comprehensively, but any of the others, do you guys have thoughts on Sinners now holding the record?
I just find it weird that like some people are mad at it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just means it was really good in a lot of different ways. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean this is the greatest movie of all time. Same thing when people get mad at the Rotten Tomato score. Whoa, 90? That makes no sense. No, it just means that a lot of people give it at least a thumbs up. I feel like people don't quite get that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is not even necessarily saying it's the best movie of the year. Just saying, at least in these categories, for these nominations, it was able to get there for all of those. So that's my only thing that I took from this was, like, the weird haters. Like, no, it was really good. A lot of people agree in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I think, and I'll turn it to Malcolm next because I know you were getting ready to jump in. Like, I don't say this often, but I think the most mannered take I heard on it that I actually agreed with was probably from Jeff Snyder, who basically said, like, his own personal opinion on Sinners is he likes the film, he thinks it deserves the nominations at the Oscars, but I don't think he would call the film good enough, quote unquote, to have the honor of holding the most nominations of all time. That said, if you go through each category beat by beat, is there a category where you look at it and go, it shouldn't be there? No. The honest answer is no. Question. And that means that it earned it. Like, because I'll even agree, like, Sinners is one of my favorite films of the year. I think it's a damn near perfect film. Am I going to say it's the best film in film history to earn this title? No, it's not my favorite film of this year. But I think it's you're hard pressed to look at it, like to compare it to the most nominated film from last year, which is Emilia Perez, where I think a lot of people looked at some of those individual nominations and kind of went, really? Oh, okay. Like, I can scrub Best Picture, whatever. Like, obviously there was a sect of the audience at the Oscars who liked the film in a way that I didn't. That's fine. But, like, on a technical level, some of these decisions were like, really? Okay. Whereas, like, personally, you know, the award that a lot of people seem to think that Sinners sort of has on lock is cinematography for cinematographer Autumn Dorwald Arkapaw. Do I think it should win cinematography? Not personally, no. But am I going to argue it's not one of the best 5 films of the year? Also, no. It deserves its nomination. And I think that that's where it falls perfectly. Malcolm, I'll go to you next, sir.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like, it's one of those ones, like, I'll do the comparison, like, Emilia Perez, like, there's some of the categories, like, had 2 nominations in the same category. Like, with Sinners, it's a very different thing, because from my recollection, I don't think there's any category where Sinners is in there twice. Like, no. So the fact that all its 16 nominations is all in, like, a singular category, I think it makes it a little bit more impressive. Like, One Battle After Another, I think, was close, like, at 13, but that had, like, the double in supporting actors. So, like, but it's sort of one of those ones, like, do I think Sinners is going to win all of them? I don't think so, because I think a lot of the ones it's up for, I think One Battle is probably going to take, and the ones where One Battle and Sinners are up against each other. And it's one of those ones, like, and yeah, there was to do a comparison to a movie that was completely shut out, like Wicked for Good. Like, I know I've seen a lot of Wicked fan groups. I've seen a lot of people complain about that. It's like, look, Wicked is like, it's a part, basically Act 2, and a lot of the categories where it would have got nominated, like Best Costume, Production Design, and all that, when you think about it, a lot of those costumes is basically the same that it did in the first one, with
Yes.
only a very couple of
Pretty fair
new
call.
costumes that they added to it. So it's like, should it be nominated for the fact that 75% of the costumes or 75% of the sets is the same set as the first movie?
Yeah.
So
That's a really good call too.
yeah, and with songs like, and with the original song, they had 2 original songs out there, and what I think happened with that, they couldn't decide which one was better. That they split the vote, and none of them got it because of that. So,
well, yeah, song is also a really hard category when you're only competing for 4 spots. Because I mean, we all know that Diane. You just have to Google, does Diane Warren have a song this year, and we know she's getting in. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's the tradition of she's going to get nominated and lose. It's going to be what, 50 times?
I hate to pick on her, but it is almost like it's the saddest stratosphere to be in, because you have enough friends in the music branch that you will get nominated every year just for doing work. Yeah. But you do not have enough friends in the Academy to ever win that award, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, basically the Buffalo Bills in the 90s. You make the Super Bowl like 4 times in a row and you lose all 4 times.
I don't know what that means, but
it's American football.
But
Haley
and with time on, I will say this year I was buzzing to predict that this is the year that she just doesn't get in, just for the fact that I think there's a lot of songs that are good out there. It just happened that I was wrong, but it was there, and she did get an honorary Oscar last year, so I thought, well, maybe they don't do it this year. But yeah,
I mean this dead honestly. If Netflix and Sony hadn't hedged their bets with K-pop and just submitted the one song to guarantee they'd get in, I genuinely think there's a chance Diane Warren's not there.
Yeah, because it would.
Because I think people are so ready to award that soundtrack that if they had even submitted one other song, I think it'd be there.
Yeah.
Also, there's the fact that one of the nominees. But like I don't know where the standings at this point, but one of the nominees might get thrown out of the category. So, because for those who aren't aware, it's again I just only personally read about this, so the information could not be 100% correct, but I had heard that there was a conversation around one of the nominees. It's if you go look at the list, it's the one you for sure never heard of.
Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verdi.
Yes. Apparently the song was written as far back as 2017. So there's questions over whether it was written for said project that it was submitted for, which is part of the clarification of being nominated, is it has to be written for said project. So it also doesn't help that film has no release yet, so people can't even really see it in the context of what it's a part of. So yeah, but again, I can't speak to, I don't know, but I had just heard that was kind of the talk, was like immediately that song sort of got questioned the minute that it was on a wider scale. So we'll see what happens. It's not winning. I mean, it helps that Golden's going to sweep this thing, but
yeah, I think it would have been really sad if it was Diane Warren's song that was just going to get removed. So not only are you not going to win after being nominated, but you're being thrown out of the category altogether. That would have been the ultimate like New York Jets type of thing. Now the New York Jets is an American football team that Haley Steinfeld's husband plays against twice a year.
Shout out to Haley Steinfeld's husband. All right, let's go ahead and run through a couple of these categories real quick then and see if anyone has any thoughts on who they think might win. We are going to do an official, I guess you would call it like a predictions episode at some point later, but let's just give some cursory thoughts right now. First up, we have Best Director. We have Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another, Joaquin Trier for Sentimental Value, and Ryan Coogler for Sinners. If I had to go around the panel real quick, JPL, I'll start with you. Who do you think's taking it of these 5?
It's tough. I don't really have much of a inside direction. I just kind of go by like my heart. So as far as direction, man, I'd love to see Coogler get it. I think it's a different kind of film, a different kind of beast that the Oscars don't normally champion. So that, like I said, I'm literally just kind of going by my heart here.
Ain't nothing wrong with the heart. Malcolm, I'll go to you next.
But I personally think Joachim Trier should win. But I think it's Paul Thomas Anderson's to win. He's been nominated many times. He hasn't won yet. I think this is his time to finally win. Like, you can call it a career Oscar if you would, but I think it's well deserved for one bit after another, especially. So
Yeah, knowing he never won, like, yeah, that's an easy persuaded vote for him as well.
And then Matt, what are your thoughts? Sorry, I'm answering a text from family.
Okay, sorry, Mike. I have a cat that's yelling at that door. And I went to open it. I was going to let her in. I was going to hold her. And then she's like, nope. She backs away. But it's my turn to go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't want to go if it was mine. Yeah, I think it's between Coogler and Paul Thomas Anderson. If I had to guess right now, things could change. I think it's Paul Thomas Anderson. I think he's going to win. And, you know, I'd be okay with it. He's finally getting his directing Oscar. I'd be cool with it. Ryan Coogler is going to win one at some point. He's probably going to win two, at least. But I do think it's between those two. You never know. Like we've seen before, momentum changes really, really quick with the Oscars. So it could be Paul Thomas Anderson right now, but then once we get closer to the voting closing for the members, it could switch to Ryan Coogler. It could switch to Chloe Zhao. You know, I don't think Josh Safdie is going to get in. If anything, I'm kind of surprised Guillermo del Toro didn't get in. But I don't know.
Yeah.
It seemed like they loved Frankenstein.
I would say he's probably the biggest shock miss in practicality. We'll move on. I guess Tato, because I know you've not seen a lot of them. Whose opinion are you betting on here at this place? Who do you think?
Yeah, initially Paul Thomas Anderson and Coogler did jump out to me. You know, maybe it's just because they're highlighted and I knew you clicked on them recently, but those did seem like
I
pretty
probably clicked
solid
on most
bets.
of this document.
Those seemed like solid enough bets. I hope Cougs gets it. That just seems like on the other hand, PTA maybe getting a little of the achievement award on it, but Maddie I think does have a good point about Coogler will win one too, hopefully, but hopefully he doesn't get put in a spot where, you know, gets passed over for a bunch of other people's achievement awards, and you have to give him the achievement award. Yeah. So
yeah.
Without having seen any of those, though, I think those two are probably solid betting points.
Yeah, and then we'll go on to the acting categories. We'll run through these quickly here. At Best Actor, of the major categories at the show, Best Actor might be the most competitive in my opinion, because even though people are claiming that Timothée Chalamet is a frontrunner, and I won't disagree that he's an early frontrunner, this is the only category where I think you can make an earnest argument that any of these guys could win, right? Like, for example, Kate Hudson getting nominated for Best Actress, her nomination is the win. It's a recognition of her incredible work, but I don't think anyone's really assuming that she can win here. But Timothée Chalamet, Leonardo DiCaprio, Ethan Hawke, Michael B. Jordan, and Wagner Moura are all incredible performers in general. They are incredible performances within the individual films. If I were truly voting with my heart, I would give it to Wagner Moura just because anyone who voices death in Puss in Boots 2 deserves to have an Oscar on his shelf. But if we're not counting films that came out a handful of years ago, because I don't have a frontrunner in my mind, I would just go with my heart, which for me is Ethan Hawke. I don't know if any of you guys have had a chance to see Blue Moon, because that was very limited in terms of release. You have, Matt?
Yeah, I have. It was available on demand.
I personally thought it might be the best performance of his career. Like, I think he's excellent in the film, and this movie does not work without him. So I'll go around the horn really quick. Matt, who do you think's taking it?
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to see Ethan Hawke win. I probably agree. It may be his best performance of his career. I think it's a 3-horse race. It's going to be either Timmy, Leo, or Michael B. Jordan. I could see it going to Michael B. Jordan. Right now, it's clearly Timmy's the front runner, but maybe Leo wins it. I think that performance is top 3 to top 5 best performances in his career, which is saying something because he's put out some great performances. So maybe he wins, but I could see him being left behind Michael B. Jordan and Timmy because, he has an Oscar already. So I could see some voters being like, well, yeah, he's great, but he did win for The Revenant. So let's go Timmy or let's go Michael. So it's Timmy right now, but it could change in an instant.
Malcolm?
Like my heart is with Leo. Like I think Leo deserves when I think he was great in One Bear After Another. But yeah, unless something changes with SAG and other awards that are coming later, I think it's going to be Timmy.
And then JPO, thoughts on Best Actor. Who do you think takes it?
Yeah, no, I mean, again, I love these performances, so, credit to them all for being nominated here. Ethan Hawke did get me some money on Kalshi. I made the right bet. But I'll probably go with, I think everyone loves that little fuck Chalamet, so I think he's going to take it. Chalamet.
I like to imagine that's what Kylie calls him in private. Just, you little fuck. Timothée Chalamet, the one person on earth who actually knows what Kylie Jenner's like as a person. With that said, just to save us some time, because we're coming up on the 2-hour mark here, Jessie Buckley, does anyone think she's not going to win Best Actress, or does that seem like the most foregone conclusion of these?
Well, since I actually have an opinion on the topic,
I mean, maybe Rose Byrne surprises some people, but I think it's Jessie Buckley.
Jump in, Tato?
I thought Emma Stone was really good in Begonia.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a foregone conclusion at all. I think Byrne has a real shot.
Fair. All right.
Maybe.
I mean, it's definitely between Buckley and Byrne. Like they're both really strong in this race. So,
and then we'll move on to supporting actor. We have Benicio del Toro, Jacob Elordi, Delroy Lindo, Sean Penn, and Stellan Skarsgård. Around real quick, Malcolm, I'll start with you. Who do you think's taking it?
Yeah, I mean, I've unfortunately I do think that One Bear After Another people they're going to split, and it's going to someone's going to come through the middle. As of now, I want to say I'm going to say it's probably going to be Stellan Skarsgård, but I wouldn't be too surprised if Delroy takes it as well.
I agree with you 100%. I know that he was brilliant in the film, but I think, especially given the current American political climate, I think Sean Penn's character hits way too close to home for people to want to vote for that character to be presented on national television and award. I know it's unfair, but I do think the nomination is the win. It's kind of similar to Sebastian Stan and Jeremy Strong from The Apprentice last year. The nomination is the win. It's the acknowledgement of the talent. I just don't see the award going to them. And I think you're right. I think Benicio will sort of cause a split here. I think pretty firmly it is going to be Stellan Skarsgård. I think, unfortunately, Delroy, when you compare the two roles, Delroy's role, for what it is, the nomination does sort of feel like the win and the acknowledgement of his great career. Hopefully he gets a chance to win one, because I think he should have won one for The Five Bloods, but I see this pretty easily going to Stellan Skarsgård. And if you want to argue that it's a career win, I also don't think you're incorrect that Stellan Skarsgård would get a career win for this, but I think that's okay. JPO?
Nussbaum was robbed of his nomination.
Nussbaum and Begonia was a revelation and should have been nominated. But the one that did get nominated, I think the scuttlebutt I keep hearing is Skarsgård. I haven't seen it. I'm personally pulling for Elordi. I was one of the people that didn't necessarily think he should get that role, and I thought he killed it.
And then Matt, before we move on to supporting actress, who do you think's taking it?
I think it's between Sean Penn and Stellan Skarsgård. Yeah, I know what the political climate is. Obviously, it's hard to ignore, but he is incredible in that movie. He is so good in that movie. But I do think right now, if I had to flip a coin and kind of let that determine, I think it's going to be Stellan Skarsgård. Not only because he's great in the movie, it'd be a career award too. We see that a lot, and I'm not going to be upset. I'll be happy. I'll be very happy for him. The fact that this is his first nomination is crazy, just like with Delroy Lindo. I think him finally getting it's pretty nuts, and I think they're going to give it to him. But don't be surprised if Sean Penn wins, just because of how great he is in that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this pussy don't pop for you, Sean Penn.
I mean, just very quickly to touch on there. I'm not saying Sean Penn isn't great in One Battle, and I don't necessarily think it's a political thing. I think it's just the fact that people think that both Benicio and Sean were equally as good. So people, they maybe like that's what I mean by split.
No,
I think because people are equally, and when you think about how Stellan actually had a stroke on sentimental value and still managed to perform as good as he was, so I think that's even more impressive in my opinion.
Yeah. I will say this though, I think Sean Penn has given a way better performance than Benicio. I think he's really playing a character of Benicio. I think it's extremely charismatic and fun, but I don't really think Benicio's also like really going outside of his rule box.
And you're not wrong.
And I guess if there's going to be a tiebreaker between Stellan and Sean Penn, I think it's the fact that Sean Penn has 2 Oscars too. And that, I think some voters might be like, he has 2. They're both great. Stellan Skarsgård hasn't gotten one yet.
We last year through anonymous voter polls that people actually absolutely do take that into account. When multiple voters openly admitted that they thought Ralph Fiennes had multiple wins and they wanted to vote for never won Adrian Brody.
Adrian Brody, who I guess Ralph Fiennes was in The Pianist.
And then
Ralph Fiennes kissed Halle Berry. When he got the Oscar, he kissed Halle Berry.
Yeah. That's good.
Supporting actress, Elle Fanning, Inga Ibsdottir, Lilias. We'll figure it out. Someone will say it, and I'll learn how to say it. Amy Madigan, Wunmi Mosaku, and Tiana Taylor. Does anyone think Amy Madigan actually had? I know Amy Madigan's the fan favorite. Do people think that she can win this, or is anyone else got a different favorite?
100%. I think she's going to win.
I want you to prove me wrong for sure. Yeah. I just think again. Weapon's not getting enough love shows that it's not really on the Oscars forefront mind, and I feel like this is almost a pity vote.
Well, I think the fact that Weapons has no other nominations, I think that's going to help Amy Madigan even more because all the attention that would have went to a screenplay nomination for Weapons and all this stuff is going to go to that, and it's a great movie. I think with it being great, I think you're going to get a lot of love for her, and plus. It's her first nomination in 40 years. She has no Oscar. She's been in the industry for a long time. Look, we've seen.
I got an IMDb here. I can't think of 2 other movies. Hey, she came out of nowhere for me.
Well, she's been in some stuff. I don't know. Maybe her husband will.
I was gonna say the one I can name offhand because I just watched it. She's in Gone Baby Gone, Ben Affleck's directorial debut.
Oh yeah,
that's the only one I know because I just did a cast thing like we did earlier.
But go ahead, Malcolm.
Yeah, well, I was about to say people, a lot of people do love Amy Madigan's and for Weapons. She's been sort of winning and getting nominations across the board. I don't think it's beyond the realm of her winning, and once again, personally, I think it should be one of the sentimental value girls, but because I think they're both equally as good, I'd lean slightly to Inga Ibsdottir Lilias, but once again, I think they both because they are both so good in sentimental value. I think they're going to split that vote, which is going to open up the door for either Amy Madigan or Tiana Taylor.
Yeah, absolutely. I think any of that is possible. Yeah, I don't know that. I think supporting actress might be. I think actor's the most open race, and then I'd say it's probably supporting actress. To wrap up our Oscar discussion and our show here, I'm going to give each of our panelists the opportunity. Give me one category you would like to talk about if we have it. So JPO, is there one category you want me to scroll to for you to talk about?
Well, shit, we did all the actors. I don't know. Screenplay.
All right, go ahead and pick one.
I'll go original, man, because original's awesome. I don't. I actually didn't have anything else to say. Cool, good job on them. I don't know.
Yeah, the nominees for original screenplay are Blue Moon, It Was Just an Accident, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. Me personally, I want It Was Just an Accident to win because for me personally right now, it's my favorite film from the year. I would have probably pulled one of the two foreign films, more than likely Secret Agent, out of Best Picture and put that film in its place. I also, frankly, would have nominated Jafar Panahi for director as well. But I think if I'm going to get, as much as I think Sinners is brilliantly written, as are the other films in this category, I think that film 100% works because of its screenplay. Also, he wasn't nominated for director, so I want to give him an Oscar. Frankly,
I'm pulling for Sinners because speaking of original, like a vampire movie getting nominated shows that it's so much more than a vampire movie, which I think is kind of rare for Oscars. Like, what's the last vampire Oscar nominated movie?
I would have to look that one up. Tato, do you have a category you want me to scroll to before we wrap up?
I'll just point out that Golden's really awesome. Any fucking song from K-Pop Demon Hunters probably would have won. Soda Pop is fantastic, as well as Your Idol is really good. What It Sounds Like. Yeah, anything could have.
The soundtrack?
Yeah. Just the whole soundtrack wins the award.
I think Golden is probably a foregone conclusion to win simply because there is an entire soundtrack behind it. But again, to read it off, the nominees for Best Original Song are Dear Me from Diane Warren, Relentless, Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters, I Lied to You from Sinners, Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verity, and Train Dreams from Train Dreams. By the way, I don't think I ever said it on the internet, but I just want to say in the theater watching the movie, I called it to the people that I was with that Train Dreams was getting nominated before anyone thought it would, because the guys who made Train Dreams made Sing Sing last year, and one of the only nominations that film got was Best Song. I was like, they're gonna fucking nominate this because they're gonna find it hard to fit it elsewhere. But yeah, shout out to the song. It was a good song. It fit the feel of the credits. Malcolm, I'll go to you next, sir. One category you want to talk about before we wrap up?
Costume design.
All right, go for it.
Like costume design, I think Frankenstein has got it purely for the selfish reason, like the costume designer is a Kiwi, but also I think the costumes are great in it as well. And I know there's a lot of debate online about Avatar: Fire and Ash, whether it's like digital costumes, and there's like I don't know for sure. I'll need to go visit James Cameron, who lives just down the road because he is a New Zealand citizen now. I just like throwing that in whenever I can.
He rightfully ran away to Weta.
But it's one of those ones like we don't know for sure if the costumes will be like physical and they'll sort of be mo-kept into the movie, just like the.
I actually can answer the question for you. The nominated costume designer Deborah L. Scott. What the film was nominated for is all of the Na'vi clothing pieces that you see in the film. A bulk of them were actually real designed clothing. The rest of them were designed as a model by her with like texture and all that in a computer. But there was actual practical costuming work done so they could put the clothes on the actors to see how it fit their bodies. So when they animated it, they knew how to make it look.
Yes.
It's an incredibly technical thing to think about. If you go to watch Avatar to see the blue people, you're like, what? There's costumes? But yes, there are.
She's also a very legendary one, but she also did the costumes like Heat, Titanic, and a bunch of other movies too.
Yes, yeah.
But that's all I got to say on that.
And then I think honestly, it's funny you bring up costume design. When I was looking at all the below the line categories, costume design might be one of the most genuinely competitive because, like, the only one I don't see winning is Marty Supreme, because I think you're right. The costuming in Frankenstein is beautiful. I think everything about the practical filmmaking of that movie is beautiful. The production design, the visual element of the film, and the costuming, the makeup, and all of that. Like, it's suspect to win any of those awards, quite frankly. Again, Avatar being a really unique case, I think could put it ahead in the competition because it was so much practical work done for what was eventually visual clothing. And then Hamnet is a classical British piece. Those are always subject to win, and the costuming and the clothing is beautiful in the film. And Ruthie Carter obviously has won at least once, maybe twice. I don't remember if she won for Black Panther 2.
I think she
I
did.
know she was nominated. I think she won for both Black Panthers, actually. Yeah.
Okay, so she's a two-time Oscar winner, just under Ryan Coogler himself. And again, the costuming in Sinners is one of the things that I think you could legitimately look at. And then
I would
Matt,
never sleep on Ruthie Carter.
Oh, shit
Give
on
me a
Brick.
category.
Call me Rick. We will go cinematography, I guess.
All right, talk to me about cinematography. The nominees in the category are Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Train Dreams.
Yeah, because right now I think the front runner is Sinners. I think a lot of people are, expecting that to be the winner. But I mean, Frankenstein, I think, is up there. Train Dreams, I think, is up there too. I think Train Dreams is really, really good looking. I maybe One Battle After Another, but I think it comes down to Sinners, Frankenstein, and possibly Train Dreams. But no, I mean, those and In One Battle, I thought all looked really, really good. Thought they're all shot really well. Yeah, so I think Sinners probably wins, but again, could you get a surprise? Maybe Frankenstein wins it.
Yeah, the cinematography category alone makes me hate Netflix with a personal passion because, again, as someone who was lucky enough to live in a place where I could see Frankenstein and Train Dreams on a theater screen, watching it at home almost doesn't do it justice, but it does because it obviously still looks beautiful. Honestly, I am tempted to go with Train Dreams because I just think there is something beautiful about the simpleness of the shots and just the simpleness of the wide forest, but also like the fact that it was shot. And again, these are arbitrary things, but I think they also matter. Train Dreams was filmed in its entirety in less than a month, so it's not like they really had a lot of time to plan a lot of these widescaping shots that they're pulling off. This is a lot of on-the-fly filmmaking. And it's incredibly impressive on behalf of Adolfo Veloso is the gentleman's name. Really impressive. Okay, so I think, obviously, we didn't cover everything extensively, but there will be an episode some point down the road where it'll be its own extensive topic. Before we go ahead and wrap up, for fun, JPO, if you would like to torture me for one round, you can give me a movie or two. I'll go ahead. I'll move everyone off the screen just to make it quick, and you can torture. Well, I gotta put him. You can torture me.
I want you to play Malcolm. I want you to play Malcolm and feel how it feels to lose one name.
All right, go ahead.
All right. This ain't where to Sherry Cola.
You'll have to let me answer first because I don't have anything to. I did not plan for this.
Fair enough. After Sherry Cola, how about Bobby Lee?
I'll take the next one.
If you like Bad Friends, I'll give you Andrew Santino.
And is there a theme or is this just a film?
It's your theme. It's all shit that's not out yet.
Oh, okay.
Jelly Roll. How about Jelly Roll? Wayne Knight.
Locked.
Hey, he's live. How's that feel, Aaron? How does that feel? Jennifer
I didn't know
Hudson.
Mal.
Aaron Pierre. Patton Oswalt. Nick Kroll.
Why do I feel like this sounds like the cast of a bad animated film?
David Harbour.
Oh, fuck you. Okay, I think I know what it is. Locked.
You in? All right, what you got, Aaron?
I have tickets to an early screening of this, if I'm correct. I'm going to assume it's the potentially bad animated film Goat.
And Malcolm?
It is Goat.
Yeah.
All right, Aaron gets 3 points. Malcolm gets 37 points. All
Okay.
right, next
I'll fight back. I just want to say the first thought I had when you said Sherry Cole and Bobby Lee was, I'm like, are they in Hoppers or some shit? Like immediately I thought, I'm like, what animated film is this?
Kyle Mooney.
Okay.
Alexander Volkanovsky.
Okay, hit me with it.
Hiroki Goto.
Okay.
Andrew Schultz.
Oh, locked in.
Yeah.
Tato was in first, by the way, so Tato gets 49 points. Aaron?
That would be Street Fighter.
Alrighty, Malcolm.
Street Fighter.
Alrighty, Aaron got 3 more points. Malcolm another 14 points, even though he locked in on the same one. I don't know how that works.
That's okay. That's okay.
All right, I'll give you one more, and then we'll keep going if you want, but I'll give you at least one more. Let's
All right.
go with Andrew Batchelor.
Okay, I know who that is.
Hey, Malcolm, you're welcome. Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Are you locked?
I do actually know. I know who that is, but I don't.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Joe Pantoliano.
Okay.
Jared Harris.
What? Okay.
Daniela Melchior.
Melchior?
Whatever. She was I think she was in the rep. Was she in recently?
Yeah.
Kristen Bell.
Is this another bad animated film?
I did not do this by design, but also David Harbour again.
God, is David Harbour in any other animated films this year?
That's all you get, by the way, Aaron. So whenever you're ready.
Oh, David Harbour's the lead of this?
Yes,
or
sir.
a major part?
I'll just go ahead and tell you he's the lead.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Is this the prequel film between Thunderbolts and Black Widow? Is that?
No, but it is in a franchise, Malcolm.
So you didn't watch the first Violent Night? Violent Night 2.
Violent Night 2. Santa
Oh,
Claus is back, baby.
What is that cast?
That's
Apparently
fun
Kristen
cast.
Bell's playing Mrs. Claus.
Yes, that's what's been reported, yeah.
Oh.
David
I
Cornsweat. Can you
should've-
guess what movie this is?
I should have known it was an action film because I do actually know who that was the wrestler, right? Was who you said at the start?
Yeah, MJF, yeah.
Yeah, I do know who that. What, Corns was Superman? Take the bait? Man of Tomorrow? Or are you going to dock me the points? Like,
No, it's because you're wrong. It's Supergirl. You went 2 years ahead. Man of Tomorrow's not out yet, or not coming yet.
Oh, we'll go ahead and bring everybody in and wrap this puppy
By the way, Tato won because he was in first for Street Fighter.
Volkanovsky, baby.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking Schultz, but that's right. You would have been in on the other guy, yeah.
Oh, all right. JPO, go ahead and plug anything you'd like.
Oh yeah, I mean, again, kind of like Pat said, if you want to hear me talk about the year that was 2025, the Periscope is a good place to be. Me and Aaron talked about our favorite films of the year. Me, Richie, and Pat talked about our least favorite films of the year. Me and Brian Michaels talked about our favorite least seen movies of the year, like movies that were underlooked. And then me, John Marr, and then later on Aaron talked about our favorite and least favorite horror films of the year. But besides that, we also got lots of trivia happening on that channel. Countdowns. We have this new show called Rank It. It's awesome. Malcolm, you should be on it.
Malcolm, in America, we have this thing called the cease and desist. I would look into it. Malcolm, would you like to plug anything?
You can find me on TV Productions, where I host the most superior show, Red Kim.
Hey, you walk so I can run. I'm just kidding. I don't run.
And tomorrow we're talking about top 12 Ray Fiennes movies. None of the movies we talked about in that game will be on there because they're not being released yet. Well, actually, maybe the Bone People. I don't know. Depends on if people have seen it.
Did you say the Bone People? That's the porn. What did you watch?
Yes. But you can also find me hosting Gone for the Win every week, where me and Dan Scabellin will do a more extensive talk about the Oscars and the categories. And you can find me popping up here and there on here. And I'm looking to bring Spear from the Past back in a couple of weeks, where we talk about TNA Final Collision from December 2008.
Tato, anything you'd like to plug?
Yep, you can find me here at Lights Out. We've got Battleground, we've got trivia, all sorts of shenanigans. We've got the third place now alongside those other two places, and all sorts of other shenanigans to ensue on the channel this year. Gonna be a blast.
And Matt, anything you'd like to plug?
You could find me, here occasionally when I hop on the show. I also have kind of a newish channel, Grab the Remote, that me and some folks are going to start trying to get cooking once again. And then when I do Colts content, find me on Yep, that remote exactly. The green one. Yep, you grab the remote. The channel's now
I win.
Crushed. But then you can find me an Inside Horseshoe for Colts content.
All right, and thank you guys for tuning in and watching this. Next week, I don't know what form it'll go up in, but it'll most definitely be an edited form. We've already recorded it. Next week, we have a comprehensive look at the calendar year of 2026 in film. I was joined for that by Amaru Moses and a couple of others. I feel like an asshole now. I don't remember the fucking names of the people I was with.
And the rest.
Madi was there. It was Amaru Moses. It was Madi. And then a personal friend of mine, Tyler Franklin, joined us. Guys, it's nearly midnight for me. Calm down. I'm not that much of an asshole. But we went through a very comprehensive discussion on the year in film. So comprehensive that I think it's like 4 hours. We just decided to roll with the punches, and boy, did we go on for a long time. So it'll be uploaded in parts to try and make it a little more palatable. But that is what is coming next weekend. And look forward to that. And yeah, again, the plan is to keep going every single week here. Once again, I should say, Matt, you were my creative partner in a sense on YouTube for a number of years. Just because TMG is no longer a thing does not mean that we are not a thing. I'll see you later, baby. And Tato, thank you for opening up your door and allowing us to continue this partnership in a new place. This has been a lot of fun. Let's see if we make it to episode 2. And by that I mean, do I actually get it uploaded on time?
I believe.
Everyone.